And here is the first aircraft. It is the Hobby King F4U Corsair 800mm. Let's do a walk round because this is a Maiden. I actually have 50 grams of iron on the nose so I can get the correct CMG, and that is with a 1000 milliamp 3-cell. But she does look good. I'm all nerves. Maiden flight. Let's get her prepped and up to the landing strip, or takeoff strip in this case. I'll be using a Turnigy 20 to 30C 1000 milliamp 3-cell. That's 11.1 volts. And it's at 95%. Now the charger I use is a mains powered charger, and it's one I've got that never ever goes above 97% for some bizarre reason. So 95 isn't too bad. So we open this up and we've got an AR620 in there, and that's because this has the ORX stabilizer in it. Now when I purchased this, as many of you would have done, Hobby King sent a spare ORX stabilizer because the one in it they said was faulty. Well, having done some testing, and that's on video, I decided I'm gonna take the one in here that they say is faulty, and it was acting as though it was installed upside down, because I've seen that before on another Hobby King aircraft. So what I've done is flip it over 180 degrees, exactly the same position on the underside of the fuselage, on top of the wing, exactly the same orientation as in the way it's facing forward and aft, and I've tested it and I'm convinced that's all that was wrong. They say to replace, of course they would, but let's see what happens. So I've made this so this can come out just like that. The battery needs to go all the way forward. Oh, the other thing you need to know about this aircraft is I actually burnt this connector, because while testing I accidentally put the JST plug on the wrong way. So you can see I've marked these JST plugs black, so I know black goes to black. Let's get this battery in, check the CMG, but it should be okay. So that goes right the way forward onto that Velcro. This receiver can now come back here, and it sits there like a good little boy. These are all wires I don't need, they just get in the way. So let's connect it up. Right, it's done the little dance it needs to do, little tune, little dance. That's all got to go in there. It's just easier said than done. It's not working very well for me, I'm afraid. Yeah, it's a bit of a mess, this plane, the way all the wiring's done. Yeah, it is holding it on, but I'd rather it gave me a bit more of a snap. Yeah, okay, that's what we're going to have. Right, let's test it. Right aileron, right aileron, left aileron, up elevator, down elevator, right rudder, left rudder. Throttle. Okay, so a quick walk around, take some pictures.
cut off.
Oh, that's good. You can see the weight here I've had to put on the nose. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 grams of iron. Sticky iron. Used to be sticky lead back in my day. What I've found now is if you make some flattened grass tracks, it seems to help it not tip over. Okay, maiden flight of the Hobby King F4U Corsair 750mm wingspan. Let's do this. 5 minutes on the clock. See if we can get that done. Alright, lots of torque on it. Yeah. Needs a huge trim out. Alright, let me get some air. Oh, I lost it again. Oh, I lost it again. Oh, I lost it again. It's exactly the same place I lost my TTX. I do not believe that. Right, broken prop. Okay, fair enough. That came off, no problem with that. Okay. Don't know what these are. Oh, that's the sticky weight. Wing looks okay. Body looks okay. Split open, I can fix that. But I'm not happy. And it's not the gyro, I can assure you. This was complete signal loss. Oh, right, this is interesting because I took the battery out and look what I found. That's completely melted away there, and that would explain the signal loss. What it doesn't explain is why it happened, but that is an extension lead I put on, and I put it on from having purchased a set from eBay, and they weren't from China. But you can see it's clearly burnt, killed the circuitry, and it's dropped out of the sky. As I said, up until that point everything was absolutely fine, so I'm not really happy with that. Not good at all. I've had a look at this closer at home. I'd like to point a few things out. First of all, the wiring that came with the plane here is in fact a 20 AWG silicon covered wiring. The wiring I purchased is a 22 AWG plastic covered wiring, and I think what's happened is the current draw from the motor has actually melted the plastic. It was just too much for that 22 AWG gauge wire. So what I've done, I've actually gone and purchased some 20 AWG gauge wire, silicon covered, the same as the one that's already in the aircraft, with JST plugs, male and female, already connected. And I think that's going to solve the problem. It will take the current draw, because it's when I said I've got to get some air and I increased the throttle to climb that suddenly it died, and that's when it would have pulled the power from the battery. But we'll see. I'll rebuild it and we'll do a Maiden take 2, because she was flying so well. The stabilizer was working. I only had it on AS3X, but it was working perfectly up until I throttled up to climb. Nothing at all, and it just nosed down and dropped out of the sky. Anyway, enough of that. Let's do another Maiden. This time it's the Top RC Mentor.